IQ testing someone with ADHD is that if they're unaware of their ADHD or they're aware of it but they're unmedicated, we expect to see roughly a 5-point IQ decrease, particularly in the working memory and processing speed categories. So in the IQ tests, they can do a thing where they can estimate your general cognitive ability by subtracting those two domains and forgetting about them. And that gives a true indication of a person's ability, because IQ takes into account all of those domains, but your general cognitive ability takes away, so it forgets about working memory and processing speed and uses your visual and verbal skills to develop your general ability, which is useful for getting an idea of how well you'll cope in the world. Yeah, it's really what it is. Your general ability. So what it also means is if a person does the IQ test and they're unmedicated, and then if they do it again, and you have to rule out practice effects, which is another important thing. But the point is, you would expect to see that same person, if they're medicated, you would expect to see a 3 to 7 point IQ increase in that same person, roughly, which is really interesting. So that's why was always told. Not that I do IQ tests very often at all actually, and I don't really want to get into assessments, but like we know in the research that a person with ADHD and a person with autism as well, but the autism is different because you don't medicate for that. So a person with autism, we expect to see a decrease in processing speed, not necessarily because of a general underlying issue with processing speed, but more so related to perhaps, for example, the need for perfectionism. But yeah, in IQ testing kids, medicated versus unmedicated, the same person, we would expect to see somewhere along the lines of 2 to 3, roughly to 7 point increase in their abilities. Specifically, like most of the improvement though actually bumps processing speed and working memory up. The visuals and the visual and verbal will go up a little bit, but not that much in comparison to processing speed and working memory. And the reason for that is that processing speed and working memory really hinge on sustained attention, which is what the medication helps the person do. And without it, the attention can go up and down. So that's why.